Hi, this is Ron. This is a more complete version of how to set up streaming video for First Baptist Church of Jeffersonville. I think this is version 3.0, but this is what you need to do. First, you will see in the computer side of, I guess, the equipment back here, you will see that plugged in there are these two things. What these two things are actually a transmitter and a receiver. They're actually for a guitar, but we're going to use it for the same reason here that you would for a guitar, and that is wirelessly transmitting a video from, audio from point A to point B. So when you come in, turn on both of them by sliding this on. See, it starts blinking there. Same thing with the silver one. And they should link like that. When they stop blinking, it means that they're linked together. If you want to be sure that they're linked together, you can hold the button right above the LED. And when you let go, they will sync together. It might take a second or two, but it usually works out. All right, take the silver one off, the charger. And the black one, I'm keeping it on the wire here and bringing it over to the soundboard where you plug it in here up at top. And what that enables it to do is to transmit from output, I think, let's see, what is it, 9 and 10? Yeah, 9 and 10 to the gray one. Now I keep it plugged in the whole time and probably need a nicer way to go about doing this wire. It's not going to cooperate, but the idea is that both the receiver and the transmitter need to be at 100% power. Now, just charging the battery and hoping it works, sometimes we get lucky, but oftentimes, no, it doesn't. All right, I'm heading to the electric room. How to get in here? You need a key. Of course, I have a key, but also, ask one of the trustees if you do not have the key yourself. And then you have to go up these nice, scary ladders. Well, one ladder. And I'll try to do it without videotaping my own demise here. Well, it's not even videotaping anymore. It's just recording. All right, up into the attic, turn on the light, right by the stairs here. Walk through the 2 air conditioning units. And this is the door to the balcony. Ta-da! First thing I do is I come over here to what is actually a headphone amplifier. What we're using it for is exactly the thing it's made for, except for not amplifying headphones per se, but signal. I'm going to plug the receiver into the headphone transformer here. You don't actually have to push it up like that, but you'll see that it is now connected. I'm going to come down here underneath the camera, turn on the white power strip, the black power strip, turn on the camera here. Hey, Mark. In here, you see this slide to switch up on the camera to go to camera. It should turn on here in a second, just like that. You don't need to do anything else except for if you're ready to focus it or whatever. Right now it is set up to be going. This little monitor on top of the podium here, I'm going to press on. It shows exactly what the camera is seeing. No more, no less. If you don't need it, you don't need to turn that on. Now these 2 little monitors, the one on the left shows the stream to YouTube. One on the right shows the stream to Facebook. Below that is a switcher. Now in the back, there are two lines in for sound. The first one says camera, the other one doesn't say anything at all. But what you'll want to do is right here where it says mic 1, make sure that you've turned on mic 1. That is actually right there, the receiver that we just set up. Then you can go over to the headphones here, turn them on, a little switch on the right ear, slide it up, they're noise canceling, and then listen to see if you have any audio. If you don't, or the people online are saying that there is no audio, go back to the switcher here and turn on mic 2. What mic 2 is actually the sound that is being transmitted to the whole church through, let's zoom in here, those speakers up there. The sound quality is not there, so if you can avoid it, avoid it. All right, let's see, let's turn on this camera up here. This is the little camera on the podium on the table, and that's the power button's the one on the top here. It turns on just like the other one, same brand actually. And down here on the switcher, camera 2 is the main camera. 3 is the old camera here. And for the most part, I just have it aimed out over here so I can cut to the congregation during parts where the pastor is climbing up the stairs to give the message, or when there's any transitioning of the praise band. So that's camera 3. Camera 2, once again, is the main camera. Camera 1 is actually this red wire here. And what I usually do is I plug my phone into it. You can see it's for an iPhone. And I display the slides that, the PowerPoint slides that I have created for that day's service. If you could do something like that, great. If you can't, that's super great too. So, okay. On the switcher, on the right-hand side here, it says cut, auto, and FTB, which is fade to black. With cut, when I go between camera 2 and 3 here, you can see it just cuts from 2 to 3. If I press auto, what it does is it does a smoother transition. It fades in and fades out. And you can play around with that up here, you know, slide in from the left, slide in from the top, move the whole picture, mix, dip, whatever you want to do. I usually keep it at mix, and I usually bring it down to 0.5. So when you do go between camera and camera, it's a little bit quicker. It's a half a second. All right. And let's see.
Did you unlock this? No, Ron's up there. Oh, good.
Yeah. Picture in picture here. What it will do is transmit into one of the corners whatever's being streamed on camera 1. And if it's your phone, that's great. If you have nothing there, don't worry about that. Vital things, make sure that mic 1 is turned on, and that either camera 2 or camera 3 is being shown. Mainly camera 2, that's our main camera. Okay, on the YouTube side of things, click on Preferences. It should be the left mouse, and it'll say Publication Destination. And where it says Publish Destination, there should be something set up for that week's service. In this case, it would be First Baptist Church of Jeffersonville, March 27th, 2022. That has to be set up ahead of time on YouTube, actually, YouTube Creator or whatever they're calling it this week. But once you do that, you are good to go on the YouTube side. Right click on it, and when you're ready to start, just click on start. And when you're ready to end, this will, if you click on the screen, the start will be stop, and that's how you stop it. Over on the Facebook side, you have to actually change two things. So under preferences, up here, publication destination, it's going to give you a whole bunch of pages that I maintain. You want First Baptist Church of Jeffersonville. I'm going to double check that to make sure I checked it. Yep. And then under video title, just change it to whatever that day's date is. And in this case, it's the 27th. Click OK, and then right click on it. And when you're ready to go, press start. When you're ready to stop, you click on the screen. And what it now says start will say stop, and that will stop the service. All right, what's the iPad for? Very good question. Well, I'm gonna press the start button there on the bottom, the home button. The password is 0531, and that stands for May 31st. That is April's and mine anniversary, yay. On the iPad, you have QPad up here. And what it's asking you to connect onto is Q32, which is what we have. So I'm gonna press connect, and it's gonna say admin, standard, and basic. Go for admin. And what it does is actually shows the soundboard, a virtual version of it, just like the one that's downstairs. What we need to do up here is in the lower right-hand corner, change to mix 9 and 10. Remember that when I plugged in the transmitter, I plugged it in so it would be through mix 9 and 10, which is down there. And right now it is set on inputs here, which will show you all the different inputs, drums, keyboards. B1 will be the microphone furthest to the right, usually used by Ruth. B2 is the middle microphone, either used by Deborah or by Vernie. Key V's is keyboard vocals. Ruth Karen sometimes likes to sing. B3, usually the microphone closest to Marilyn, which is usually April. Channel 7 and Channel 8, nothing. Channel 9 is JJ's guitar, which is usually not set up to anything. JJ's vocal, same thing. But you do have Marilyn's vocal, Marilyn's guitar, the bass guitar, Mark's guitar, if Mark plugs in, the piano, meaning the actual old-fashioned piano down there, the pulpit microphone, the left overhead and the right overhead. I don't know if you can see those little white microphones that are on either side of the main cross in the center. Those are those microphones. Don't use them because it picks up the police broadcast rather than what's going on. The lapel mic that the pastor uses, the handheld, the input for the computer, both channel 21 and 22, CD if we use it, and then the other channels we don't have. Sometimes to make it a little easier on myself, I'll go under what I have is custom 1, and you'll see that instead of all those inputs, I have pulpit, lapel, Marilyn's vocal, microphone 1, 2, and 3 for the singers, keyboard vocals, drums, keys, Marilyn's guitar, and bass. That's usually all we use. And when you have those headphones on, you are hearing mix 9 and 10. So what it sounds like in your headphones is what it'll sound like to those who are receiving the broadcast. Tweaking it, you just move the levers up and down. Let's say you need more drums, just click on it, push up, or touch on it and move up, move it down, however much you want. Same thing with the keyboards, guitar, and bass. This is left the way it was, for the last service, and usually it's good for the next service too. So if you hear that it needs some touching up a little bit, feel free to do some touching up. And to scroll back and forth, here we go all the way to bass. If you click and just drag to the right or left, that will bring up the controls for pulpit and lapel and Marilyn's vocals there. The little red muting up there means that the microphones are mute. To turn it off, just click on it. And that's about it. when the service is over, just double click on the home button, flick that away, and then the top right button here on the side will turn off the iPad. Turn off the camera here, the little camera, turning off. With the switch and the two monitors here, they will turn off with the power strip, but remember to click stop where it now says start on each one of them, and that'll be done. Unplug the receiver here and plug it back into the charger downstairs. You can turn this monitor off, which I'm going to do. Turn this camera off here. Turn off the power switches or power strips, both black and white. And I'm going to take this with me. I'm actually going to turn it off, unplug it. Oops. So when I leave downstairs, definitely make sure that the headphones are off. The green light will be off. Those are actual batteries, and everything should be black and off when you leave. And that is it. One thing to remember while doing this, you will want to, one, turn off the lights in the attic here. I don't know if one, well, I guess they're fluorescent lights. Cost the church that much money, but it's always good to save a penny. Go down the ladder backward. And when you are done, make sure that you take the silver transmitter and plug it back in to where the black one is charging right now. Make sure you cut off this light and lock this door, which I'm actually going to do. Unplug the transmitter. I'm going to turn it off first. Plug the silver one in. Ta-da! And that is it. The only other thing that you may want to do is if you're having problems hearing the audio through the headphones, and definitely make sure you turn on mic number 2 on the switcher, but there is a plug upstairs for the silver receiver up there. You can plug that in too if you're having any difficulty. But that, in less than 20 minutes, is it. Thanks.